Welcome back to our Line Opinion panelists for one final discussion. Following the governor's State of the State address, healthcare was at the forefront of this week's State of the State address as the governor proposed the creation of the New Mexico Healthcare Authority, which would bring, quote, all our healthcare services under one roof, end quote, and would, quote again, bring us a step closer to universal healthcare, end quote. That's interesting here in New Mexico. With more than half of the state's population currently on Medicaid, Senator, is this step towards providing public option for healthcare inevitable? Meaning we're all out of options here. You know, we have 53% of us on Medicaid. Something has to break here. Is the governor on the right track on this?
Well, I think she's definitely on the right track with trying to establish a healthcare authority.
Yeah.
It's not a new idea.
Okay.
We've been over this ground before in the legislature and have not done it.
Oh.
But the truth is that, you know, the state and the feds pay for health care services and insurance in this state for the vast majority of New Mexicans. Medicare, Medicaid, Indian Health, and many, many others. And yet it's uncoordinated. It is uncoordinated. The delivery is uncoordinated. The purchase of pharmaceutical drugs, the purchase of insurance products is uncoordinated. Under one umbrella, under a healthcare authority, we could save money, cover more people, provide quality care, recruit more providers, which we desperately need. Than we can by all these separate different programs here and there. So I think this is long overdue. I say that with prejudice because I carried the bill several times back in the aughts and was not successful. But I think the time has come for this, and it makes fiscal sense as well as just coordinating all these different programs,
That's an interesting
including
point there.
behavioral health.
That's right. That's right. That Tom mentioned last segment. I want to go to Tom here real quick. Oh, and by the way, Colorado, Nevada, and Washington currently provide universal health care right now. Could be a model for the state, so we'll see how that goes. But Tom, the governor mentioned plans to eliminate co-pays for behavioral health services. And I'm curious what this means for people living in safe outdoor spaces. Throw a little curve at you here. Should people who were registered in safe outdoor spaces be able to qualify for these free behavioral health services?
Specific to that, I think the safe outdoor spaces need to be located near where those services can be provided.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, I mean, yeah, you can provide it to anybody and everybody. And yeah, I think that the unhoused really need to have access to all of these services. But the question with safe outdoor spaces, an Albuquerque issue that we've seen present itself, also opportunities in Las Cruces as well with Camp Hope, is that there oftentimes you have these services are consolidated, which is one reason I think Gateway Center is and the Gibson Health Centers is going to be so critical because all these services will be provided in one area. Where we get off and kind of, you know, where it really doesn't work is where a safe outdoor space is where you know, there are no services. So it's just isolated. And at that point, you know, when you have these little encampments in the middle of nowhere without any services for miles, that's a problem. And so there really needs to be an overall coordinated effort, which is what I hope that the regional behavioral health authorities are going to do, is to create a systemic way to provide behavioral health services and counseling to people who need it.
Interesting point there. Ed, another interesting bit here. The governor called for the state to recover all healthcare premiums for public school personnel. It's a very interesting recruitment tool, isn't it? Because that could be a big bite out of your personal pocket to cover healthcare.
When I read that, I said, I wish I was part of the school personnel. I think that's actually a great idea. And just as we were talking about law enforcement a little earlier and recruiting the best in law enforcement, we also want to do the same thing in the classroom. And I think, you know, the teachers across the country have taken a hit for a variety of reasons, and you know, they're under scrutiny for a variety of things that are taking place in our educational system. And I think that's just another way to try to attract those individuals who have the talent and the skills to teach, and we want to bring them in with the right benefits. And I think with the cost of today's healthcare, I think to do something like that really is a very good recruiting tool. And it also includes the staff, the school staff as well. So we can't leave those out because those behind the scenes, the EAs and others that are working hard to produce the best educational product. I think we need to do everything that we can do.
There too, Dee Dee. Interesting, the governor requested lawmakers to codify abortion rights. Another 90-degree turn here, which would protect reproductive autonomy for people in New Mexico, of course, and then also take some of the overspill from other states that are not allowing abortions. But she specifically asked us for a second time for something in southeastern New Mexico, a physical presence. That's very interesting. This is not Governor Lujan Grisham territory that she's asking to do this in. That's going to be a needle to thread. That's going to be very interesting. I'm curious your thoughts on this idea as well.
Well, I think she got one of the biggest hands of her speech when she said codify abortion in New Mexico law. Not a constitutional amendment, but in a law. I think that the Southern New Mexico Reproductive Health Center was part of her campaign pledge, and she's following through on that. It's not going to just provide abortion services, but also many other services, OBGYN services in an area that really needs it. So it's not just for immigrants to the state from other states, but it's also for New Mexicans in need of those services in a rural area. It's just another example of how, we need those providers and services. So I wasn't surprised that she did that. I think that one of the things to watch in this area during the session is whether the state will be able to preempt places like Portales and Otero County and other places that is trying to use local ordinances to outlaw abortion and penalize providers who provide these services to people both in the state and outside of the state. So
we've got some flashpoints now, Roosevelt County, and folks are getting after this right now. This idea, this seems like a collision course. Inevitably, this whole idea. Is this a doable idea in our legislature at this point?
Is a doable idea?
Codifying abortion into law. I mean, she's got Democratic majorities on both sides.
Yes, I think it is a doable idea with the composition of the legislature the way it is now. There will be steadfast opposition, and it will increase the divide.
Yes.
But it may protect women and their right to choose.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to point to Tom a little early there, but I'm interested in your opinion on this subject as well. Abortion is a huge flashpoint, certainly.
Oh, it is.
And now that Texas has done its thing and we're picking up the slack, a lot of folks have an issue with that, but a lot more think it's the humane thing to do. How does this work in how people consider New Mexico? Are we more humane? Do you know what I mean? In our whole idea of how we do our thing here.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's humane or not humane.
Yeah,
it's it is a service that the governor is very committed to wanting to provide.
Right.
Whether it is whatever the medical procedure is, you're going to need doctors and you're going to need healthcare providers.
Right.
And one of the things that the Republicans had mentioned as being a hurdle to healthcare is the Medical Malpractice Act. Yes. And immediately putting a cap of $750,000 on settlements. Well, that caused a great exodus of doctors from the state. So there's if the goal is to provide health care for all, whatever that health care is, then you need to be able to make sure you have health care providers, doctors here, and you need to create an environment where they feel welcome and that they feel protected.
Cart before the horse, as they say. Absolutely. Thanks again to our line panel. Great stuff tonight. As always, be sure to let us know what you think about any of the topics the line covered on our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram pages, and catch any episode you may have missed on the PBS video app on your Roku or smart TV.